Somebody says, I tried, they don't help. Hey, real talk. There's a lot of professionals out there, and sometimes the first professional you talk to is not the one that says the words that you need to hear. So just because a professional didn't work for you, or even sometimes a few professionals didn't work for you, does not mean keep looking. As somebody who went through multiple professionals to find the one that said the right words that they needed to hear, keep looking. Yep. Don't give up.
We got a mauler.
A sniper.
Zero Vapor says, what a messed up position to put a streamer in. Granted, this person may need help, but man, that's a rough position to put a streamer in. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Any streamer worth their salt is going to say exactly what that person needs to hear, which is find a professional. So it's not a messed up position to put me in. It's just, you know, sometimes like it's the same thing Google would say. Like just keep looking until you find the right person. That's fine. Not really a messed up position to be in. It's just part of life.
Mewtwo coming down the stairs on the left.
No, a little bit of real talk. I had something when I was growing up called separation anxiety. It sucked. I literally could not go up to the second floor of my house without my parents because I would get like crippling anxiety and stomach issues. I saw 5 different therapists over the course of multiple years until I found the person that was able to help me by connecting with me with the way that I need to be connected. So if you go to if you are at the bottom of your life, if you think that there is no way out and you are still trying to seek therapy, first of all, you're awesome. That's great. But just because the first, second, or even third person is not helping you does not mean that someone out there won't help you. You just keep looking. And I guarantee you, if you keep looking, someone will eventually help you. You just got to keep looking. So, yeah, don't. Just because a few times it hasn't worked doesn't mean stop looking.
Sorry, but now might be a good time for that ammo crate, Cohh.
Got it, thank you. And for the record, when I got to the person that told me what I needed to hear, they basically fixed my issue in like 3 sessions. So, yeah, sometimes you just got to hear the right words. Just keep looking. Just keep swimming, right? Where do you see that ammo was, Barely?
It's in your inventory.
No, in your inventory.
Oh, my inventory. Oh, I have the ammo. Well, yes. There it is.
That's how dry we were on ammo. We all just picked it up, and now there's.
Honestly, I blame Barry for that. I think Barry's the person that needs to be blamed for that.
Well, yeah, I'm the veteran gunner.
I think it's because Barry has 79 Chrome tabs open. I think that's
79. 79.
Let's focus on the real issues. It's the 79 Chrome tabs that Barry has open.
Someone get me up, please, so I can get Cohh up. But I need it for my penance.
Freaking dogs.
Oh, Zero Vapor. Well, I appreciate it, buddy. It's just like any general person on the internet. So, but thank you. Thank you. I was on fire. Turns out.
You love fire.
In more ways
I do love fire. I love fire.
You're the person that I know who loves being lit the most.
I do.
There's a sea of yellow in front of us.
Don't worry, I'm on
Nothing on it.
fire, but it'll pass. A wise man once said that.
Oh well, a wise head.
Oh, cover just makes it fun.
Oh, hey, Lek Ann, I would completely agree with you, which is why I vehemently suggest continually finding more insight and more perspective to build your own necessary perspective on the situation. You're absolutely right. Yes. The short of it is everybody is infallible. So you kind of have to build your own perspective on the situation using all those different perspectives. Yeah, as Selby just said, knowledge is power. Absolutely. Absolutely. The most you can do is give yourself the most information on a situation and then make your own best course of action based on it. Nobody's perfect, dude. That's not a
Health
false
barely
statement.
on the ping.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Nobody has all the answers. All you can do is give yourself the best answer. Ads is old. Are you getting ads, buddy? I don't run ads during the broadcast. Hopefully you're not getting
If you've got an ad blocker, it can cause ads, so you may want to turn off your ad blocker.
We're all set. It just takes a while down until reinforcements arrive.
Oh, dude, the soundtrack of this game is phenomenal. It is one of the better soundtracks of a game in a long time.
That sounds big and
I
unfriendly.
think I'm about to get got. Yeah, I just got caught.
Where's your strength, shouting?
Cohh, go for the health.
Got it. There it is.
Yeah,
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna wait for a second. Let me see if I can wait after the second.
I think we're about
kit
to
on my feet
extract.
now.
Oh, that works.
Receive the Emperor's message! Did you know that Exploitator's Cohh is an Atoman native?
Grab it now.
Roger.
It's 40k on consoles yet? Is this on consoles?
Not yet. I'm not sure if the console build's actually planned, but it doesn't have a release date at least.
You got a puppers incoming. Stay together. Stay together.
Falling back to bed. Uppers down.
You. Nice charge.
Extractors arrive.
Now clean up. Clean up in aisle 3. Oh,
We didn't see the second grimoire, did we?
Boomer incoming.
Got it.
Nice.
Got a small swarm at the bottom of that stairs.
Yeah, got a mauler in there.
Nice.
Fall back to me, because we're about to extract that guy here.
Got it.
Almost out of ammo.
There we go. Got the last
Oh,
guy.
good.
Beautiful.
He was hiding at the bottom of the stairs and I just headshotted him.
He's hiding from me.
Nice.
Nice run, gentlemen. Very nice.
Yeah, it was alright. I like the part where we,
It
when
was
the game
alright.
crashed.
It's alright.
I like the part when the game crashed and stole me of all the rewards.
This game is hectic. Yeah.
Well, that's just the rest.
Hey, Forrest, how you doing tonight, bud? I never know. Ruby
Maybe
Red Grapefruit,
defeats-
is that Deep Eddies I spy? Yes, it is, actually.
The
So,
heretics
funny
decided to
story.
strike back.
What was that, Barry?
The heretics decided to strike back and took out my game that time.
They did.
So I'm restarting.
I went to the local alcoholic beverage store, and I think we got like, because my wife got Deep Eddies vodka, which is just like straight vodka, and it was pretty good actually. We liked that one. So then we got, what was it? Deep Eddies lime, lemon. You can see how that went
Quickly, probably.
quickly. And we got lime, lemon, and grapefruit. Oh, and also cranberry. And those turned out to be surprisingly good. Yeah. So I've been enjoying those. That's been good. Let's check the store. Did we find our cat? No, man, to this day. Nope. The cat that we're missing is named Letho, and he has just disappeared. Like Kaiser Sose, just gone. It's so weird, man. It's so weird. I have spent literal thousands of dollars on like local Facebook ads. We've put up hundreds of flyers. Like, the cat just disappeared. It is so wild. My hope is that there was a door that was left open, and what we think may have happened is that Letho for some reason went out, and the door got closed, so he got stuck out. And that the day that around the time Letho disappeared, there was like a lot of people working on an exterior building that we have. There was like 7+ workers' cars in our driveway. So our hope is that he jumped in a car and then got whisked away to God knows where. So all I know is, with our hundreds of flyers and thousands of dollars worth of Facebook and Instagram ads, we have not gotten a single notification of him outside of our house. Honestly, at this point, it's just crazy. We raised Letho from being bottle fed, like when he was that young, and we had him for 5 years. So I even like, they didn't fly in, but they drove in. It took them 2 days to get here. We drove in a tracker, like an actual scent tracker with 2 different dogs, and they tracked his scent. And funny enough, they tracked his scent right down our driveway. So we think that he possibly like sought refuge in a worker's car. But at that point, like another thing that's kind of wild is about 3 weeks after Letho disappeared, my wife was at a local dealership, and nobody say anything, but we were getting a dirt bike for my oldest son, Rowan, right? So she was at a dealership getting a dirt bike for my oldest son, Rowan. And as she is like finalizing everything, the guy is walking her out to one of the company vans. And he opens the door to the company van for the dealership. And as he does it, a orange and white calico cat the guy doesn't own runs out of the van into the nearby woods. And the guy at the dealership is like, "What the hell?" And my wife is staring at this like, "Yeah, we think our cat might have done that." And it's kind of funny because she got home that day and told me that story. And it's kind of like, yeah, like I wonder if that was like a sign from the universe to us saying that like, yeah, this can happen. Like maybe that actually happened. But the short answer is Letho has been missing now for about 2 months. And we have no idea where he is. And our hope is that some old lady somewhere saw him and like took him in, and hopefully he's okay somewhere. But you know, the TLDR is we may never know. So yeah. The thing is that we have to remember, and I tell this to people all the time. People approach me, you know, I've been streaming for 10 years. And people approach me all the time and say, "What do you do about like my animal just passed?" Or "I just found out my cat has cancer," or "I just found out that my dog has this incurable disease. Like, do you have any advice?" And here's the thing I say all the time. You appreciate the time that you had with your animals. 95% of our animals, we will outlive them. And in those situations, you always just appreciate the time you had. And instead of being sad about the time you don't have, you just appreciate the time you have. And for me personally, you know, all of our emotes were Letho, and I didn't even change them for like 6 weeks until after. And you know, all of my art has Letho in it. So for me, it was kind of like this weird immersion therapy of having to deal with it. But it's just the kind of thing where you just have to accept that you're gonna outlive most of your pets. You're gonna have to accept when things like this happen. And instead of just going through the very short life that we have, being like super sad about that stuff, again, you just appreciate the time that you had. And you try to make the best of the very little time we have left. So, yeah, that's one of the things we've been doing. So, like, to go back to what the guy said, like, about the Letho stuff, we will never lose faith that hopefully one day he will return. There will always be that 5% of us that says that maybe he jumped in a worker's truck and then 50 miles away he jumped out, and that maybe he got cold one night and an old lady saw him and brought him in. He's chipped, so maybe one day he'll get taken to a vet and we'll get a call being like, "Hey, are you missing a cat?" One day that might happen. But at the same time, we also have to accept that we'll never, ever know what happened. That's okay. And you know, he'll be off questing and doing his thing, and we'll just focus on the animals we have, and we'll just like keep trying to do everything that we can and go from there. So I gotta tell you, if you would have asked me like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks after Letho disappeared, I would have been like, everything is terrible and life's horrible and I can't believe this has happened. Like it took me like time to work through this. Like it's one of those things where it's you know, you have to kind of like you have to kind of subconsciously work through this kind of thing. But that's where we are these days. So yeah, it is you know, Droopy says the 5 stages of grief. Yeah, in a lot of ways. Yeah. I'm not a religious person, it got to the point where I prayed for Letho every night. It's just, it happens, man. They're family. It happens. You know, you do it. But yeah. Cronin says, I think this is the first time we've had such a long talk on a Letho topic. No, I've God, at one point I talked about Letho for like an hour in the first 2 weeks. Yeah. It's just one of those things. It's one of those things, man. I mean, I made the conscious decision to make him a huge part of the channel. So, you know, I mean, it's one of those things. I have to say, like, I am at such a better point to talk about it now than I was, again, a month ago. Yeah, a month ago. So, and it's one of those things where here, the interesting thing about streaming, last thing I'll say about it, I know a lot of you guys don't want to hear about this. Last thing I'll say about it, it's one of those things as a streamer that it's interesting because every single day, somebody drops into chat at some point during the stream and says, hey, that's weird. Why are all the emotes not Letho? Or, hey, any updates on Letho? Like every single day, like it gets put front and center in what I'm thinking about. And weirdly enough, that has really helped me work through it. Like it's okay. Because I at one point, one would think, man, that sucks. But at another point, it's like, man, there's hundreds to thousands of people out there that care about it. So it's, you know, it's concern. It's concern. So it's understandable and it's okay. So yeah. Anyway, TLDR, to go back to the way beginning of the situation, Letho is still missing. There's a good chance we're never going to hear about it. And that's okay. We have Gary Kuhn, we've got Siri-chan, we've got Dimitri, who is also on the way out, by the way. And that's okay. It's part of life.
Uh-oh.
And, you know, as we move forward into the future, we'll keep on keeping on. Because we all, even us, have a very little amount of time on this planet. And the best we can do, if anything, this situation and this stuff teaches us how important it is to focus on the now. And focus on what we have. And focus on what is around us. And focus on the fact that, hey, tomorrow, everyone we love could get in a car accident. Like it's so important to just appreciate what we have at this moment. And it's stuff like that makes us, you know, it's so easy to get into these habits of just these routines of just going through the day. And then all of a sudden we get to the end and it's just like, holy shit, I can't believe that I didn't appreciate what I had more. Well, here's your sign. Do you have power? Do you have food? Do you have a roof over your head? Appreciate the out of what you have right now because not everyone does. So if life sucks right now, if things suck right now, just realize that it could be so much worse. It could be so much worse. And just appreciate what you have. And on that note, I'm getting out of here. On that fun note, on that super fun note, I'm off this evening. So I'll be back tomorrow morning for Knights of Honor 2, and then more Marvel Suns. I think we're also going to check out some more Marvel Suns in the afternoon. Should be fun. But yeah. The last notes I will leave you on this evening is just, life has this funny way of doing this thing where you will get this mindset. Say if you had a terminal condition, or say if you had a stomach ache or a migraine, and you say this one phrase to yourself, and we've all said this, every single one of you have said this: life would be perfect if I wasn't suffering through X at this time. Life would be perfect if I didn't have this migraine. Life would be perfect if my best friend wasn't going through terrible things. Life would be perfect if I didn't have X happening. Well, this is what I'll say. Right now, for thousands of you, none of that is happening. No one you know is in a bad place. Nothing that you are worrying about is not taken. You are fed, you are happy, you have a roof over your head. Enjoy what you have and be appreciative of what you have. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.